You got an appointment? Cause if not, consider this area reserved. Only when I meet someone for the first time. I like to meet strangers in public for safety reasons. I'm sure you get it, so why not in my favorite bar? Wow, nice to meet you too. Good thing you aren't with marketing. I've written up a program just for the occasion, but as Ryujin knows, it's yours for either a price or a favor. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not. Of course, but what's wrong with a little more? You know, part of me could find some wiggle room. Ryujin is my second best long-term client. Alright, you win. No wonder Ryujin hired you. A pleasure, as always. Your job is simple. Just run this little beauty on Ularu Chen's computer, and the program will take care of the rest. Once you're done, bring the slate back to me at my place. Whatever encryption Ularu has is bound to take some real work, more than my little setup here can handle. It's nice to see you know more than just sneaking around and talking a good game. Here's the slate. I'll be waiting.
I have little use for robots, especially ones too small to carry supplies or serve as cover in combat.
Stop running if you know what's good! You don't belong here. I'm taking you down for questioning. Nice try, but the building is off limits. You sure didn't get in by any authorized means. Oh yeah? Everyone? Yeah, I hope so. Look, I'll trust you. But if any of us catch you on another floor, We'll shoot first and ask questions later.
Did you hear that?
That's that stupid drone robot.
Stupid. These things are so cool. I have one of the old models. I wish they paid us enough to afford a new release. At least give us a discount. Huh? Target identified! We're under attack! Drop your weapon!
Neon's the only place where my talents are actually respected. So, you made it. Guess Ryujin's security really is slipping. Just brimming with confidence, aren't you? But I've seen your work in the trade tower, so I'll at least give you some credit. Now, I'll take that program back that I gave you, and let's give the data a look.
I hope for all that was necessary in acquiring it. This data finally reveals some answers.
The program I gave you to run on Ularu's computer basically opens an all-access backdoor for me. I can see everything and anything, so let's take a look. Ularu has some impressive encryption on her files. Not that I can't crack it, of course. Circumventing protections, running decryption. This should just take a moment now. Damn, I'm good. That went faster than I thought. I'm saving several files to a slate for Dalton, including access history and anything related to Project Dominion. Adding in new encryption for him as well, so he's the only one that can view these. And done. You're all set. I've got the new encrypted slate. Let me tell you, it looks like fun times ahead for Ryujin. Technically, I'm not supposed to look, but it's kind of hard to not see what's going on while running all my software. Go ahead, I'd like to see him do anything about it. Besides, he knows it's not a risk where I'm concerned. As for you, you may want to loosen up a little. Straight-laced little whistleblowers have a tendency to either wind up dead or disappear. Here's the slate. As usual, always a pleasure doing business with Ryujin.
It seems your time spent in the tower didn't go so well. Our legal team is taking care of the deceased. I only hope you got the data Nix needed. It will be handled once this mess is cleared up. Now, let's see what we have here. I didn't think it was possible. But someone's been accessing Ularu's files remotely. It's quite a complicated trace, too. I'm impressed Nix was able to track all of this. Damn. And there's our culprit. Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist, and one of the few I had in mind for who could pull this off. Well, the motive could be anything. Credits, grudges, even boredom. Either that, or she's highly displeased with someone at the company.
I imagine that constantly worrying about who can be trusted, who is telling the truth, takes quite a toll on everyone who works here.
Well, before we make any harsh decisions, I'll need to question her myself. I want you to head to her office and escort her here. We have to make sure she doesn't try anything before I have a chance to speak with her. If she runs, the guilt will be apparent. And you'll have no choice but to dispose of her. As much as I'd like you to subdue her and bring her in, Imogen would never allow it. She knows what fate lies ahead for those who betray this corporation and get caught. I just want to avoid a scene. Sending you keeps the rumor mill at bay. Don't put anything past her. When you're dealing with corporate workers, discerning the truth from the lies is the hardest part.
Try not to harass my techs too much. They have work to do. Let me guess. Looking for Imogen? I'm sure you can tell by now. She isn't here, which is a shame since I have several documents I need her to sign off on. She's always been the master of avoiding desk work. I'm not even sure that's any business of yours, but I do enjoy keeping close tabs on my counterpart. Dare I ask why you need to know? Aren't you the boring one? I have Imogene's last location at Frankie's Grab and Go, which we all know is a front for the Sioka Syndicate. You'll want to get executive sign-off if you plan on chasing after her. I'd say Dalton is your best bet.
It is impressive how thoroughly bureaucracy has infected every aspect of this.
Your guess is as good as mine, but she's up to something. I could tell she was trying to cover her tracks, but this is my job, and there's a reason I'm in charge of the technicians here. Is there an echo in the room? Yeah, Frankie's is a front. Crap convenience store on the outside, high-tech hideout on the inside. Of course, the only people that really know that are Ryujin Bayu and the Syndicate itself. Good. I'd hate to see what sort of drama might get stirred up if you went around him. Or maybe I'd love it. Keep the workplace interesting, right? Word of advice. If you're planning on forgoing authorization and just tiptoeing your way to Imogene, park your friend at the door. Two's a crowd if you're trying to lay low. Good luck finding Imogene. Oh, and if you do catch up with her, be sure to let her know I had everything to do with it.
No Imogene, I see. Could she really be onto us already? Of course, Yuko would know. If Imogene's with the Syndicate, I can't just send you after her. You'll need to speak with Benjamin Bayu. We have to make sure he's aware of the situation. If we're lucky, he may even help us get to Imogene. Bayu owns the Sioka Syndicate. For you to walk in there without discussing it with him first could be seen as a violation of our business relationship. Good, because without it, this adds a complexity that we do not have time for. Head over to the trade tower and be discreet. Let Bayu know that you're there on Ryujin's behalf. He may ask for credits or even a favor. Just give him what he wants. It shouldn't be for anything unfamiliar. Bayu is a businessman. Any favor he may request wouldn't be far off from the assignments you've already completed here. You're right. If he asks for anything, tell him I'll guarantee to support his fundraising proposal. You'll know what that means. Just be sure to bring her back here in one piece. If she's truly the mole, she'll have a lot to answer to. If she resists or tries to run, we have no choice but to take it as an admission of guilt. I'm afraid you'll have to dispose of her. Matters like these are handled within the corporation. The information we're dealing with is too sensitive for law enforcement, and their security leaves much to be desired. It wouldn't be long before the information was either leaked to the press or sold to yet another competitor. Imogene has the potential to do this company a great deal of harm with her knowledge. She knows the consequences of betraying Ryujin, which makes her dangerous. If the situation does take a turn for the worst, I only ask that you perform a thorough search for any evidence she may have in her possession. I trust you won't let your past relationship cloud your judgment.
Got my hands full right now.
What'll it be? You lost, kiddo? Yeah, well, make it quick. I ain't a fan of loitering. I had some high hopes for this shop back when my husband and I opened it a while back. These days, if you ain't a regular, you're usually trouble. Snacks, drinks, odds and ends, typical convenience store fare. Thought we'd snag a few of the Astro Lounge clubgoers who might want something to go on their way home. Turns out we were more appealing to the local gangs. Course, something happened. Ain't that always the case? Let's just say those hopes died a long time ago, and there ain't no reviving them. And live in a UC? No thanks. Besides, I ain't about to let a few undesirables chase me away from what I've built here. Not something I need. Not something I need. Solomon thought a small convenience store with cheaper prices would make a killing. Of course, the only killing made was when he got himself shot in a robbery. Now it's just me running this place, so you can see why I'm not a huge fan of strangers in my shop. Mostly tied up in those good-for-nothing gangs. Those disciples and strikers always fighting over who gets to run the place, and not giving a damn over whose lives they ruin. I may not be on the main strip, but I make enough to keep me afloat. Lucky for me, my regulars are a devoted crew. Take... Can I help you?
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no? Meet your death!
Cover me while I go!
I'm not walking out of here. Good one. Once again, we are triumphant. Something big nearby.
Mess with...
Take my sword! Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets. You cannot beat me!
You're a little out of your jurisdiction here, ain't you?
At least...
I'm done! Everyone for themselves!
Hold it right there, Op. I need you to back down and give me a chance to explain. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me. Yes and no, but mostly no. Just hear me out, okay?
You stay in this business long enough, you get enough favors and connections that can help you see anything coming. Nyx owed me a favor, and gave me the heads up. I know this doesn't look good, but I had no choice. Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. I'm not the one with motive here. First, I'm not about to reboot my life. Second, I'm not spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder for the next field op they'd send after me. Of course. But first you have to understand, she used me to play an unwitting part in this, so I'm the one that takes the fall. That's why I said it'd be impossible for me to intentionally pull this off. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions?
This is exactly what makes something like an internal neuroamp so dangerous.
Power, of course. Corporations maintain their success by any means necessary, but there are some measures Masako is reluctant to take. You may have noticed that none of your assignments directly involve murder. Masako reserves those actions only when it's absolutely necessary. Ularu sees this as a sign of weakness that needs to be dealt with. Because she knows I'm the most believable target, I'm the only one at Ryujin with the skills to even come close to being able to pull off a job like this. You want evidence? I've got it. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind a desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm innocent. Nyx's contract limits his investigation to Ularu's computer and her network activity. I hacked into building security and was able to recover deleted records of her accessing the Project Dominion prototype. I guarantee the third-party company Dalton is using for his security directive theta won't even notice it. I was hoping you would. I'm still going to lay low until I hear the coast is clear. As long as Ularu still thinks I'm on the run, she'll remain confident that her plan is working. And I know you don't hear it much around the office, but thanks.
How complicated this has become. Can we even trust that if we give the evidence to Dalton, he will accept it?
I hope Dalton believes me. Ularu wants Masako gone, but she doesn't have a legitimate reason to get the board to fire her. Instead, Ularu creates the very situation we're in now to make her look bad. The board sees Masako as a risk and votes her out. And with the Project Dominion prototype at her disposal, Ularu can guarantee they'll make her the next CEO. Extremely dangerous and way too powerful for human consumption. Obviously, the benefits to Ryujin would be infinite, but as Ularu herself has proven, no one should be trusted with that kind of power. If Dalton really believes I'm involved in this, then I'm on the run. I hate the idea of uprooting my life, but I'd have no choice at that point. And Ularu will probably send every operative she believes capable after me. Oh, great. That'll be just what I need if this all blows over. Let's just hope she keeps her mouth shut on this one. The last thing I need is to be the highlight of office gossip when I get back. Well, that, and she'll never let me forget it.
One! Avenge their death! I quit the city! Ah! This means you.
The gangs can keep from killing each other?
Things I would do if I had power like that.
Well, look who's back. I heard you spoke to Dalton and still went over Bayou's head, marching straight into the Syndicate without a care in the world. They're both gonna love that. Well, spending a few minutes to talk to someone could save you from hours of consequences later. So tell me, what did you find out? If you think I'm paying for that information, think again. It's just a matter of time before it finds its way onto my desk, and I can be a very patient person. Inside the Syndicate? That area's off limits, and I think we both know why. Imogene knew exactly what she was doing when she went there. Fine, fine. I won't push. Enjoy your time with Dalton. It'll all trickle back to me sooner or later.
The most important meeting of my career.
Is there something I can help you with? Whoa. At least let me close the door before you start getting into something you can't handle. Just a moment. Shutting the door and engaging locks. There. Now that I can guarantee we'll have no eavesdroppers, that's a serious accusation. I'd even call it a fireable offense. And just where is this absurd notion coming from? Did you really come here just to make petty statements like that? It sounds like you're only here to waste my time. Now that sounds more like a proposition I could get behind. Fine. Since it's just you and me here, I'll come clean. I leaked Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd. But I'm no mole. Please. It's insulting that you think I'd actually be working for someone other than Ryujin or myself. The only traitor to speak of here is Masako. You see, I'm not a mole. I'm an opportunist. And no one is more loyal to Ryujin than I am. Masako, on the other hand, is losing her touch. Ryujin needs strong leadership for what lies ahead. A CEO who can make the hard decisions. What do you think? If someone was a threat to your family, would you be satisfied waiting for them to strike? Of course not. You'd eliminate the threat before it had a chance to act. In some cases, before it even realized what it was capable of. It's all part of my plan. But don't worry. Infinity Ltd will never be able to complete Vina's work. I made sure of that. It was never my intent to involve Imogene. But when you arrived with information on Project Dominion, I knew Infinity had screwed up. I had no choice but to act fast. Imogene is the only one that Dalton and the others would believe was capable of pulling this off. It had to be her. Back then, hard decisions were all about screwing people over and white-collar crime. Today, they're more about ensuring success, by any means necessary. So, now that you know, it's time to see how good you are at making hard decisions. With your help, I can take down Masako and make the credits worth your while. So whose side are you on? Masako's or Ryujin's? Smart choice. And since we're working together, I'll take that so-called evidence off your hands. I guess that's how I would have played it. You can keep your little security blanket. Now that I know where your loyalties lie, I suggest you act as if nothing's changed. If you're looking for a scapegoat on Project Dominion, you can feed Imogene to the wolves. When it's time for the next phase of my plans, I'll let you know. Masako's going to regret not taking my advice. As I said, I'll fill you in when we're ready for the next step. We may be working together, but I don't trust you enough to divulge my plan in its entirety. It's nothing personal, just business. It's no secret that I consider Imogene to be my protégé. I cared for her as a colleague and friend. But I've poured my life into Ryujin, and every day I see the reports of our competition growing, becoming bolder. When Project Dominion came along, it was the perfect opportunity to make my move. Unfortunately, Imogene was the only one who fit the profile to pull it off. Of course. Vina's original design was external, like all the others. I'd have Imogene go through the motions of delivering everything herself. Having her act as a double agent was just extra insurance.
You're back. And Imogene? I was afraid of that. I'll have Yuko determine her position, so we can start tracking her. Were you at least able to gather any data on how she was able to access Project Dominion? And this is precisely my concern against such technology. I'll be sure to bring this up to Masako. Now, I need to undertake the laborious task of writing up a report to summarize all of this. In the meantime, Masako has requested your presence in R&D. She wants you to meet her in Vinakara's office. Just take the elevator down to Research and Development. You'll find Dr. Kara's office to your left as you enter the floor. Vina's the head of our Research and Development team. She's the creator of Project Dominion, and often considered the protege of Ray Karis, Ryujin's founder. Masako's been focusing on how to deal with Infinity Ltd. And their knowledge of Project Dominion. I believe her plans rely heavily on you. Once I've examined this evidence, I may need your help in moving forward. And not a word about this to anyone. I'll present what I have to the board once I've completed a full report.
Don't wander in.
Keep out of my way and I'll keep out of yours.
I need that Rothicite if we want to complete the neuroamp.
I'm just concerned the entire station was wiped out by... something.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out and get that shipment back.
I hope
Good, you're here. It's time to put a plan in motion to take full control of this situation with Infinity Ltd. The mole took priority. Now that Dalton has everything he needs, thanks to you, we're free to proceed. We don't know to what extent Infinity has taken the current neuroamp schematics, so our top priority is completing our own. Let me introduce you to Vina Kalra, Head of Research and Development. She'll give you the initial details.
Yes, details. You see, the internal neuroamp is supposed to consist of two parts. The first part, the part Infinity stole, handles the manipulative effects. The second part is a shielding modification designed to protect the user against other neuroamp users. Well, we can't, but the shielding aspect was never officially a part of Project Dominion. It was an afterthought of how to safeguard our own people from being manipulated, so it was being researched separately as a mod. The research itself was in early stages, too early for board approval, so only myself, DeMarcus, and Masako know about it. You got that right.
No one wants their greatest asset used against them. Once Vina can complete the internal neuroamp and shielding mod, the plan is to outfit you with both and have you infiltrate Infinity Ltd. We can't risk the assignment until we know your mind has the necessary protection.
Of course. Installing experimental technology into your very head. What could go wrong?
We expect our employees to do whatever it takes to ensure Ryujin's success. Consider this an opportunity, not a risk. Besides, you're in good hands with Vina. You're a Ryujin employee, and we need a job done. We've trusted you this far, so I feel it's safe to continue the trend. Good. I'm glad you see this as an opportunity.
And I love a willing subject. Now it's just a matter of getting the key ingredient. The final kink in both designs was finding compatible materials to use for conductivity that the human body wouldn't reject. I've finally created the perfect alloy, but it requires a newly discovered refined element called Rothicite.
Which is where I come in. We have a confidential contract with Consolidated Mining to gather, refine, and ship the Rothicite straight to us. Their last shipment is late, and neither we nor Consolidated Mining have had any communication with the Carinae station. Correct. The updates have been regular up until now. Last we heard, the shipment was ahead of schedule.
We need you to head out there, secure the shipment, and bring it back here so Vina can complete her prototype. And I want to know what happened. We need to take any safety measures to make sure this doesn't happen again. Good. Feel free to deal with any resistance however you see fit.
The mining station is CM Station RC-1. It's on a moon called Carinae 3A in the Carinae system. The shipment should be in the research and control tower, but the outside doors are kept locked down. This keycard will let you enter the mines so you can access the tower from the inside. Good luck.